This is an English 4 news special report. Here is Andreina Laes.
Today, everyone, we're coming on air to bring you the latest news about former Uber engineer Susan Folwer. She alleges sexual harassment and gender discrimination at the company. But first, we're going to show you what is the history of this company. Uber, an American multinational ride-hailing company that offers services that include peer-to-peer ride-sharing, ride service hauling, food delivery like Uber Eats, and a micro-mobility system with electric bikes and scooters. Uber's story began in Paris in 2008 when Travis Kalanick and Garrett Camp were attending the Lee Web annual Tech, like two revolutionaries ready to change the future with at least two wheels. In 2007, both men had sold associations and received a big amount. Kalanick sold Red Swash to Academic Technologies for $19 million, and Camp sold Stumble Open to eBay for $65 million. The idea or concept for Uber was born one winter night during the conference when Camp and Kalanick were unable to get a taxi cab. At the beginning, the idea was for a time-sharing limo that could be ordered by an app. After the conference, the entrepreneurs went their separate ways. But when Camp returned to San Francisco, he continued to fixate on the idea and bought the domain name UberCab. In 2009, Camp was still CEO of Stumble Open, but he began working on a prototype for UberCab as a side project. On that summer, Camp had motivated Kalanick to join as a Uber's Cab chief incubator. The service was tested in New York in early 2010, using just 3 cars, and the official launch was in May in San Francisco. Ryan Graves, who was Uber's general manager and an important figure in the early moments of the company, became CEO of Uber in August 2010. In December 2010, Kalanick took over again as a CEO, while Graves assumed the role of COO and board member. The simplicity of ordering a car sustains the app's rising popularity. With the tap of a button, your ride can be ordered. In October 2010, the company received a cease and desist order from the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency because of the word cab on the name. So then they changed it to Uber. With the pass of the time, this service was increased in many parts of the world, and new services were integrated, like scooters and Uber Eats. So today, we're going to talk with 3 awesome women about sexual harassment and gender discrimination at Uber company.
Hi Andreina, my name is Susan Folwer and I was a Uber worker. I'm here today to tell you about my strange experience working at Uber. Well, during my whole time at Uber, I saw and lived an experienced male-dominated work culture permeated with degrading, discriminatory, marginalizing, and sexually harassing conduct towards women. I started working there in November 2015 as a site reliability engineer, and it was a great time to join as an engineer. After training, I chose to join a team that was of my area of expertise, and this is when things start getting weird. On my first day, my manager sent me extreme messages over company chat, saying that he was in an open relationship and he was trying to stay out troubles at work, but he couldn't help getting in trouble because he was looking for a woman to have sex with. When I saw that, I understood that he was trying to get me to have sex with him, which was clearly off the line. I immediately took a screenshot of these chat messages and reported him to HR. When I reported the situation, I was told by both HR and upper management that even though it was clearly sexual harassment, it was the first fault he had. In addition to that, upper management told me that he was a high performer, so they wouldn't feel comfortable punishing him for what was just an innocent mistake on his part. So they were only going to give him a warning. I felt terribly offended because they basically gave me two choices. First, I could either go and find another thing to work, or I could stay on the team, but I will have to understand that he most likely give me a poor performance review. I tried to escalate the situation, but got nowhere with either HR or with my own management shame. Finally, I decided to leave the team. Over the next few months, I began to meet more women engineers in the company. As I got to know them and hear their stories, I was surprised that some of them had similar stories to my own. I and a few of the women who had reported him in the past decided to all schedule meetings with HR to insist something be done, but nothing changed. When I realized that nothing was going to change and the problems were just piling up, I decided to leave the company in January. The last date at Uber, I decided to calculate the percentage of women who were still in the organization, and only 3% were women. This is just an example of the gender discrimination that exists there. In spite of everything, I feel very grateful for the opportunity and the knowledge I gained while in the company. Thanks to you, Andreina, for inviting me to your program and letting me tell my story. I only hope that it will serve as reflection and learning for all women in the world. Bye.
Well, Susan, it is incredible how in a big and important company like Uber, you can see sexual harassment and gender discrimination to an amazing woman like you, and of course for the rest of the workers. But the most important thing is that you didn't stay silent, because these behaviors should be known by the whole world, and we're here to help you and support you. Thanks, Susan, for sharing this to us. Now, we're going to talk with another woman about these actions and behaviors.
Hi, Andreina. Thank you for having me in your program. My name is Maria, and I have started a blog that is about what it can do Uber to improve those kind of unethical situations. So, my recommendations are, first, since apps will tell you exactly where your driver is, you only need to go out and meet them at the last possible minute. Request your drive while you are still inside and remain in areas that is well lit, comfortable, and the presence of another people for as long as possible. In second place, you must also match the model and the license plate of the car to what's listed in the app. Make sure their personal appearance matches their profile photo. That's super important, because if you go with another person, you can be at a high level risk. In the other hand, to make sure the safety of women employees of Uber, they need to do is create a space where women with similar problems to those Susan had in the past, by communicating things that make them uncomfortable in order to implement the necessary measures to stop these situations and allow the workers to continue with their work in a healthy working environment. It's important to know that these kind of situations are not normal. It's important that you share that kind of information and don't keep quiet because you think that you would put your job at risk. So keep that in mind, and if you want to know more about these situations and the thing that you can do and Uber can do, visit the website Women's Safety by Uber. It's very helpful and informative.
Well, thank you so much, Maria, for the information and for your good intention, because you're really helping those women that are victims of these behaviors. I will definitely go to check the website. And now, to end, we're going to talk with Samantha Vieira about gender discrimination at the Uber company.
First of all, hello Andreina. It is a pleasure to be with you today and to share my experience with you. Well, I'm an investigator who has a long time working on these particular cases, and I have so many experiences in this topic. Some counted by victims and many and others through news. The truth is that the Uber driver is quite exposed to crime. I could spend the whole show telling horrible crimes because there are many, but I will only mention the most recent ones to show how horrible these assaults become. I'll start by commenting one of 4 months ago in November 2019 that a young man of 19 years old took an Uber who pretended to be a passenger in the transport application and shot the driver to death. After the brutal crime, the delinquent ran away, and since that moment, there is a request for arrest ordered by the Justice of San Martin. That is the place where the crime occurred. Which means that until today, there is no knowledge about the whereabouts of the criminal. Another experience that was counted by the victim of the harassment, who has an Uber driver, and I say was because he leaves his job after this, that's very normal. In a normal Thursday night of work in San Agustin organization in Rio Piedras, while transporting 2 passengers to the mentioned organization, one of the individuals attacked him with a sharp object in the back of the neck. According to the criminal, he was upset because the driver had the wrong route, but in spite of that, that's not a reasonable enough reason to stop him. However, this case was investigated and the criminal was prosecuted. As well as I already mentioned it in the beginning, there are many more cases. However, the question is, what can we as consumers, as citizens, do to stop these situations from happening? Well, we can shoot these people, talk to the Uber company to look for more drastic security measures for their employees, or in case of not having concrete and quick answers, go on a strike to get people and companies' attention, because this is a problem that have to attack now. The idea is not to stay quiet. We have to take seriously these conflicts and do all that is in our hands. Thank you for having me, Andrea.
Thank you, Samantha. I really agree with you. So this is all for today. I really wish that you have a great day, and thanks everybody for watching. See you on the next English 4 News Special Report.